Welcome to XCOM HQ, Commander. I'm Central Officer Bradford. My role in this project is twofold: providing tactical support for our field operations, and keeping you briefed on the current situation. My efforts should allow you to focus on the bigger issues at hand. Speaking of which, we have a soldier waiting for a promotion in the barracks. I'll let you get to it.
I imagine several soldiers will be waiting for promotion, because they all performed admirably in that level. Anyways, this is our base. It's a pretty cool layout. It's like an underground layout, and it's, well, I'll get to that in a minute. So everyone except for our wounded soldier got upgraded. Oh yeah, another thing I almost forgot about. This game introduces classes to the game. So instead of just having random characters who do whatever, you can just sign up however you want them to. They all have different abilities and weapons they use.
The research labs.
Yes, I know.
Okay,
so we got a support who can use smoke grenades, which deploys a smoke grenade once per mission, the smoking first. Plus 20 defense to all units, which is great. Not just allies, though. You have to be careful about throwing it into the enemies. And it lasts through the enemy turn. So for a turn, you can basically buff up your team's defense, keep them safe.
Commander to the research labs.
I'll get there soon.
To the research labs.
That's kind of annoying. In the early missions, when it's like to give you a tutorial, it'll keep repeating messages until you do things. Alright, we have an assault. Assaults use shotguns or assault rifles if we want to. And they get the awesome ability running gun, which allows them firing Overwatch after dashing on the turn running gun is activated. So you can activate it and then dash and fire, which is great with a shotgun, because shotguns have incredible damage up close, which is kind of obvious now that I say it out loud. And also you notice that there's different levels. As they level up, you get to choose between two different abilities, and except for Major, there's just one ability you get there. And that kind of lets you choose how they grow. Alright, we also got Sniper, my personal favorite class. They get Headshot, which allows them to fire a shot with 30% critical chance and extra damage on critical hits based on the sniper's rank. So basically, if they hit, there's a very high chance of them doing massive damage, which again makes sense for a sniper.
Commander to the
only one we haven't seen yet is Heavy, and I'll get into that Heavy class once we actually unlock one.
The recovered artifacts are being unloaded, and the research team is awaiting your orders. We'll get started as soon as you give the order, Commander. Alright,
so we've got some new research available. Xenobiology, weapon fragments, alien materials, and meld recombination. We'll get to that in a minute. And we also recovered some artifacts. Sectoid corpses, weapon fragments, and 20 meld.
To the research labs.
I'm coming.
Hello, Commander. My name is Dr. Farlan. I oversee the research labs. This is where all of XCOM's research and development takes place.
Very important.
We have already begun analyzing the artifacts recovered from our first encounter with the aliens. Based on our preliminary findings, we believe we can use them to develop some new equipment for our soldiers. With your approval, we will begin research immediately.
Of course. So now we get to pick what we want to research. Alright, so all these things, they won't tell you exactly what they're going to do, but I know ahead of time from playing that what I think is going to be most important. Alien materials would be nice because that leads to armor, weapon fragments to better weapons like laser weapons. Xenobiology is more to advance the story. It lets you create like alien containment and capture aliens alive with the arc projectors, kind of like the stun rods from the previous game. And meld is the new resource I was talking about before, and this could teach you some applications for it. We'll get into that later. So we're going to pick oh my gosh, you're so annoying. Yes, we're going to pick Xenobiology. That seems the most important thing to start with. It'll take 8 days and cost 3 sectoid corpses. Alright, let's begin.
I agree. That does seem to be the most pressing of our current research options. We'll begin immediately. I will notify you when a complete report is available.
Alright, now go to engineering, so they won't stop bugging us until we do.
Commander, I was wondering when you'd be stopping by. Welcome to engineering. Anything they can dream up in the research labs, we can build it here. Speaking of which, Dr. Valen has just sent us some new schematics. With your approval, we will begin fabrication.
Okay. So we can buy items. We can get things like medkits. I'll probably want to get a couple of those, but I'll hold off until I know how much money I have. And satellites. These are extremely important. Satellites are your lifeblood in this game, because you deploy satellites to detect aliens in different areas of the world, and each satellite you have over a country or region will give you more funding every month, because they'll increase their they'll give you funding because they're covered by your satellites. At the same time, though, you gotta be careful. You need to make sure you have interceptors to defend those satellites, because the aliens can, if you fail to take down a UFO, the aliens can and will destroy your satellites. So keep that in mind. Be very careful about that. We got one satellite right now, and I don't think I'm going to build any yet, quite yet. I will buy a couple of, I'll buy 2 med kits. That's what we need for a while. And we're going to go back up. We're also going to build facilities. Now this is the layout of our base. What's kind of cool is it's laid out like an ant farm. So what we're going to do right now is we need to excavate space and build in these gaps, basically. Another thing to keep in mind for later that's really useful is Steam. Steam is areas that...
Commander to mission control.
I'm sorry.
To mission control.
Steam lets you build... you need power you need to build power generators to keep your stuff powered. And having... if there's Steam, you can build a thermo generator, which gives you a lot of power for less cost than a lot of other things would be. So we're going to go ahead and start excavating here, so we have it for later. We're going to build an access lift, which allows us to get to the next level. Build a facility. We don't... Yeah, this is the thermo generator I was talking about. Power generators give you 6 power, and they'll give you +2 power for adjacency. So you want to plan your base ahead as much as possible. Because if you have like buildings next to each other, they'll get adjacency bonuses. Like satellite uplinks, if you have an adjacent to other satellite uplinks, will get increased satellite capacity. And thermo generators also work with power generators, so... Also, like I mentioned before, thermo generators, you can see 20 power as opposed to 6 power, so they're definitely worth considering. Anyways, we're not going to build anything yet, we're just going to start excavating so we have access to more spots to build later. Alright, we're going to go to mission control now, because they won't shut up until we do. And now we can scan for activity, and see if we find anything. Actually, wait, I almost forgot, we want to go to, okay, yeah, we went to the mission control, so they'll stop bothering us now. We can go to the barracks. A couple things we want to look here. There's officer training school, which has a bunch of upgrades. As your soldiers get stronger, you get access to these awesome upgrades, like being able to take 5 or even 6 soldiers into battle. Give you an automatic promotion squaddy rank for new soldiers. Increased healing rate, stuff like that. Will is a stat that I'll get into later because it's not important right now. Just keep in mind that there's a reason why this is 200. You can also go to view soldiers, see what we have. Everyone's active except for Shivani, who will be renamed, just like everybody else who's wounded. And this is the point where I'm going to have to name people. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out how this is going to work, so I think I'm actually... I know it's a bit of a short start. We got to see a mission, we got to see a little bit of base building and some of the early stuff. I guess I should go over one more thing before we go. The hangar. This shows you where your ships, what ships you have. You start with 2 Ravens, which are the standard interceptors. You only really need 1 per area, as far as I can tell. Maybe late in the game you might want to have more if it starts getting overwhelming. But as soon as you put a satellite into the air, in a different country, you're going to want to transfer your second Raven to wherever you put it. We don't have access to the satellite placement yet. That's in the Situation Room. That'll be after our next mission, I think. So for now, that should do it. We've got some things kind of in the works. Last thing to keep in mind, the council report is in 31 days. The council report is when you get a report on how well you've been doing. You get like a grade, and you get funding based on that and based on how many countries are under your protection. Also, you can kind of look around here, and I figure out how to do this in a... Okay, you can... I know this on the... I had this on the Xbox as well. I know there's a way you can like look around your base. You can zoom in like this, and let's see, arrow keys don't work. I'll see if I can figure that out later. But you can actually zoom in and look at your base in detail, or you can zoom out and... Oh, that's how you do it. Just... Okay, never mind. I'm assuming you just put your mouse on the edge of the screen. So you can go over here and see that our soldiers are... Some soldiers are like running on the treadmill here. There's a little snack... There's a little rest area. There's the sleeping quarters, I believe, over here. There's a lot of little details put in this game. I like that. Anyways, that's going to do it for the first part or two. I don't know how I'm going to divide this up yet. Leave a comment if you want to have a soldier named after you in my army somewhere. And I'll... if you have any suggestions as to how to deal with this, with the whole, first and last name thing that I mentioned before, let me know if you have any ideas. That might help. When we come back, I'll be naming the soldiers, and we'll be going on to our next mission. hopefully. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time.